One of the very first decisions you're faced with when you're starting Monster Hunter World is which of the 14 weapons you want to try out first. Whether you're brand new to the game or franchise, or you've heard that all 14 weapons are indeed returning to Monster Hunter Wilds, and you want to see what they're all about, it can be quite daunting without a little bit of guidance. Just to be totally clear, every single weapon is completely viable from the very get-go. You can use whatever you want from the very beginning, provided you put a bit of time into learning it. Every single one of them is perfectly capable of taking on all of the monsters solo or in group play. The purpose of this video isn't to put you off any weapons, but instead to present you with 5 tried and tested ones that we know are great for beginners. If instead you're looking for an overview of all 14 weapons, you can check out the recent roundup I did, which is a celebration of them all. And if you enjoy my guides, join the 20% of returning viewers and do subscribe to the channel. And with that said, let's take a look at the 5 ultimate weapons for beginners in Monster Hunter World. First up is the most favored weapon in the game, and for very good reason, because it's goddamn awesome. We've got the longsword, a diverse weapon that enables you to dish out damage stylishly, dodging through attacks with full invincibility frames, and countering with pinpoint precision, one of the gauge style weapons which powers up as you dish out more attacks, allowing you to increase the level of the gauge as well. So when you do come to expending it with your powerful attacks like Spirit Helm Breaker, you're able to do even more damage. You can swing the sword around, build up your spirit gauge, unleash spirit slash combos to level up the gauge, or land your foresight slash iframe dodges as well, which will let you go straight up a tier. But my favorite thing to do, admittedly it's very hard, is to go into the special sheath stance, and just when you're being struck by a monster, unleashing your EI spirit slash attack, negating the damage that you would have received, slicing through with a powerful counter attack. And because you perfect timed it, not using up one of your spirit gauge levels. Particularly epic when you're already at max level 3 red gauge, and you just get to keep it because you landed this awesome attack at the right time. Unleashing these perfect dodges, these perfect counters, are going to demand excellent monster knowledge. These moves are not easily landed reactively. You do need to know what's coming in advance. All in all, unleash the power of anime, tap into your Demon Slayer vibes, and enjoy trying out a super fun weapon that will make you feel like a goddamn badass. Next, we've got another highly anime weapon, Datebayo, the dual blades. These things are pretty dope and pretty much turn you into a ninja. It even has a bloody Naruto run for goodness sake. A super fun, high mobility, very quick hitting weapon, unleashing a rapid flurry of blows to overwhelm an enemy with very high burst damage. The great mobility makes up for the lack of defensive options, allowing you to both move at high speed and to dodge around freely too. This weapon effectively features 2 different states that you'll be bouncing between. Your normal dual blade state, where you have your regular Y or triangle attack combo string, and then your mobility strikes, which move you to a different location whilst dealing damage with your B or circle combos. When you move into the other state, the demon mode state, you will also have these 2 attacks, but your Y or triangle flurry becomes this massive barrage of strikes, bursting out a lot of damage, and your B pivoting combo attacks allow you to reposition and gap close much more effectively, whilst also dealing even more damage. So demon mode is being in this powered up super state. Whilst landing attacks in this state, your gauge will fill up. Once full, your overall damage output increases across the board, boosting some of your regular state attacks with demon mode style attacks as well. A bit of upkeep here as well. Your demon mode will constantly drain your stamina, and given that's where your most powerful attacks are taking place, you're going to want to be in that state as long as possible. So you're going to need to manage that stamina. If you typically play high mobility twin blade, dual blade style classes in different games, you dig the thief twin dagger playstyle as well, this is going to be a weapon that you really enjoy. Fast, flashy, great damage, and of course, you've got a Naruto run Datebayo. Next is a weapon that allows you to become a paladin equipped with the strongest block in the game and a powerful pointy jabby stick. This is the lance, putting you in the front line against the monster, going toe to toe, meeting every one of its attacks with your powerful blocks and counters, returning the favor with these strong jabs. The lance is a fantastically offensive weapon, rewarding and demanding very high uptime, often misconstrued as a very defensive turtling weapon, where you're sort of hanging out in the back holding up your shield all the time. Nah. You're right in the face of the monster, a very involved weapon that will require you to be on the ball for the entire hunt, one of the very few choices with actual counter mechanics. This can be a super fun option for those of you who like a parry and counter playstyle. The precision of the lateral jabs and the upward jabs allows you to target weak points very effectively, getting part break after part break, which will get you a ton of topples as well. Oh, it's just such a joy. Good inbuilt mobility and gap closers in the form of hops in between your attacks, and a charging jousting attack you can do too, which is pretty epic. Lance gives me a feeling that I'm in control of the fight much more so than other weapons do. A low skill floor that's very easy to pick up and play with, very simple to understand combo inputs, but as with all weapons in Monster Hunter, a tremendous skill ceiling. People often say it looks boring to play, but what I really recommend is that you give it a spin. You might just find that you prefer Lance as a matchup against certain monsters over other choices, completely changing up the mix of what you usually use. In the right hands, this weapon makes you a one hunter unstoppable force. Next, we've got an absolutely phenomenal choice, which many seasoned hunters regard as the ultimate weapon in the game, myself included, the sword and shield. Great to pick up and play with, easy to understand combo inputs that can be infinitely chained, quick powerful strikes, lots of versatility, excellent mobility both in and around combos, as well as incorporating gap closing attacks, backsteps with big iframes, as well as a whole shield if you do want to block attacks, with a bit of a panic button, and access to some of the most powerful attacks in the game. The perfect rush combo that you can unleash deals so much damage, which can be very easily incorporated aggressively during enemy attacks, particularly because it initiates after doing a backstep, which has a lot of iframes. Most of your attacks will deal severing damage, so you can cut off tails if you want to do that. You do also have a big blunt combo you can do with your shield bashes as well, just punching the shit out of stuff with your shield. Very low skill floor, easy to pick up and play, but very high skill ceiling as well. Great for newcomers to pick up, but you can also become this absolute devastating force, commanding full control of a hunt. One of my personal favorites, you've got to give this thing a go. Oh boy, here comes another one of my mains. When I say I cannot recommend the hammer enough, you must understand that this weapon is just stupidly fun. Dealing an absolute ton of damage, your bonk is indeed very strong. You can then firmly say that you belong to groups like the Bonk Brotherhood, or the KO Kens, or even the Dong Dynasty. As well as very high damage with quick, low commitment strikes, you're also dishing out some of the strongest stun in the game. By focusing your bonks to the monster's noggin, you'll achieve a ton of KOs, which is super useful for you and your squad to get those additional topples. Great for weak points that are particularly weak to bludgeoning damage, and of course for part breaks as well. Many of the attacks give you so much bang for your bonk in terms of relatively how low commitment and quick they are to how much damage they dish out. It's sort of like having a quick greatsword that you're just smashing over the heads of monsters, for the sake of research of course. It's mad. You're able to enter a charge state, lugging your hammer around to unleash some powerful charge attacks, and another weapon with no inherent defensive capabilities, so you're going to have to be mindful of dodging effectively. Very simple to understand input combos, great for beginners. This is a fantastic choice to pick up and play, and as with all weapons in Monster Hunter truly, a tremendous skill ceiling that you can really master and take to another level. That is a wrap on my pick of the 5 ultimate weapons for beginners in Monster Hunter World. Which ones look appealing to you? Have you tried out any of them so far? Let me know in the comments, I would love to hear from you. If you enjoy the Monster Hunter guides I do on the channel, be sure to join the 20% of returning viewers and subscribe. We run open sessions together over on the Discord and the live streams on Twitch. I will leave these links for you in the description. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the new world.